Okay, right. Can you all hear us? I must admit I am not Michael Parkinson, so I do apologise, but this is quite exciting. So I've gone technological and I have my pad of questions here. So, in conversation with Raksha Dave, Raksha, the theme of our festival this year is exploring local places. Can you tell us what is your favourite place?
Oh, there's so many favourite places. My home, obviously. So during the pandemic, as you well know, because I based my whole Beatrice Cardi lecture around it, was my place. Obviously, I hadn't gone anywhere for like almost a year. Usually my job is to go to amazing places, far-flung places, and I'm honoured to kind of learn about the different research and the kind of work that our colleagues do around the world and have those brilliant conversations about what they're doing. But obviously that stopped. So I just became really bored. Became really bored and nobody to talk to. That's my time issue, my husband and my kids. But yeah, it was just like, well, what do I do? So the opposite is Awesome Woods. And there used to be a row of houses that I used to run on them. One of them belonged to Lionel Lowe, who was the King's Speech therapist in the King's Speech, the movie. And I just learned a lot about him and looked at the archives and the amazing local historians and their photographs that they amassed on the internet. The internet is such an amazing resource now. You can find almost anything. So that's one of my favourite places, for sure, just because I learned so much about where I was living in a really short space of time. But then obviously, like, the fantastical places as well. So, gosh, I never thought I'd be up close and personal with Tutankhamun's objects and items. I've never really been like a massive Egyptophile because I always thought that was like too obvious. That's why I love British archaeology so much. But just going there and just actually seeing them and experiencing that was like on another level for me. But obviously just going around Britain and just seeing fabulous places all the time and just learning about the island itself and, far-flung places like the Hebrides or tiny island in Poole Harbour. There's so many, I can't really pick one. I really can't pick one because I think I've just been spoiled.
Brilliant, thank you. Okay, so let's look at growing up. What's the one place growing up that influenced you the most?
Oh wow. Well, I grew up in Blackburn and was born there, so I'm a Lancashire lass through and through, even though I don't really sound like it anymore. And we were so kind of steeped in industrial heritage, I suppose. I always used to annoy me because I was really into history and archaeology when I was growing up. Because I think that lots of people haven't done like excavations as such in Lancashire very much, or they hadn't back then. It's kind of like an undiscovered country, I would say. But obviously there is heritage and there is archaeology around. It was just my perception that archaeology was just about digging and excavating and deep history. But obviously, we were just surrounded by this amazing kind of industrial landscape.
What's the best thing ever?
Oh, I really hate this question. I hate it because I've been spoiled. So I've done them like the most amazing sites, visited the most amazing things. But for me, it's not actually the bling objects. So I found like a gold ball, and after that kind of initial, oh yeah, it's shiny and it's sparkling, it's really beautiful. But then it doesn't really tell you anything. It's just kind of, I think it's those real kind of tangible human moments that always excite me. So when I went to Pompeii and I was lucky enough to look at their conservation labs, and they have a textile conservator, and she brought out this box of gold ribbon, and she's like, oh, you're an archaeologist, it's fine, you can touch it. And I was like, what? You're letting me touch what? You're actually letting me do this? And it was the most amazing thing, because you kind of think that preservation process of hot ash from a volcano would kind of completely destroy it. But it didn't. It was like picking up cloth on my haberdashers from down the street. It was like moments like that, and then just like how the cloth was made, and It's probably better than any machine-made cloth I've ever seen, and this is all handmade. You know, just like it's just things like that. It's like these little eureka moments.
What's the one piece of advice you would give your younger self at the start of your archaeological career?
No question is a stupid question. And I think that goes to anything really, and any job. And that kind of got drummed into me by my first supervisor. And he was just like, I just want you to, if you don't know, just ask me. And that was his mantra, because he knew that I was like fresh from university, I really didn't know very much. And that was, yeah, he was just like, keep asking questions, and that's always stuck with me.
Brilliant, so I will ask another question. Okay. Why is archaeology relevant to today, and how does it help us?
Oh gosh, it's incredibly relevant to today because it gives us the answers to the things that are in the future, I think, especially with things like climate change. There are like huge swathes of society that we ignore, especially indigenous people, who've been cultivating and managing land for millennia. And we kind of almost exclude them out of the conversation. There's all of those things, you know, all of these things that we find out about how we used to live in the past that we've almost forgotten about can be used for solutions for the future.
Brilliant. Okay, I've got one more horrible question, and then I've got some fun ones. Okay. So, obviously, being the director of the CBA, I've got to ask you the important question. If you could change one thing about the way archaeology is structured at the moment, what would it be?
Oh, wow. I'd like to see more different viewpoints and different people enjoying archaeology, and that archaeology isn't what people perceive to be a dead subject, that it's exciting, that it's fun. And the more people figure that out, I think better for us. Because we're telling stories, aren't we? We're talking about human stories. And we need as many viewpoints as we possibly can, I think.
Brilliant. Okay. Slight quick fire round. Okay. If archaeology was a band, what band would you be?
Oh, Led Zeppelin, of course.
Led Zeppelin. Excellent. Why?
Why? They're just groovy, right? And they're into that kind of, you know, land, you know, the ancient land and the landscape and that kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah. So it works on different levels.
Yeah.
Okay. Digging conditions: hot and dry, or cold and wet? Urban or rural?
Urban. Neither of those temperatures, because there is like an optimum digging temperature.
She did that.
I know. All right, hot and dry.
Hot and dry.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, everybody, this was my in-conversation with Raksha. Raksha, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm not going to let you go just yet, because obviously we've got a few more things we'd like to say about Raksha. So thank you for that brilliant insight into your archaeology, your personal story, what's influenced and motivates you. To me, it's really important that we tell these stories. So it's with absolute great pleasure that it now falls to me to make the formal announcement that Raksha has been appointed the new president of the Council for British Archaeology. For me, this really reflects her commitment to championing archaeology and also helping people get involved and get something out of it, to actually participate. And I think everything you just said really just shows that and how important it is. So we at the CBA are delighted that she's accepted this role and that she will represent us as our president. So in introducing Raksha to you, I'd like to ask her to respond to you by first of all formally opening the 2021 Festival of Archaeology, and also by saying a few words about what she would like to achieve during her term as our president. Raksha.
Gosh, well, I would like to formally open the Festival of Archaeology 2021, and it's my great pleasure to have my new appointment as president. And I never thought that a small, a girl from Blackburn would become the president for the Council for British Archaeology. Wow, what a
Right. Brilliant, everyone.